Hello, Elizabeth here, and today I'm going to show you how I made these rhinestone makeup brushes. I gave a couple of my friends eyeshadow palettes for Christmas this year, so I made a few of these brushes for each of them to go along with the gift. They're a nice quick project, and I'll walk you through everything step by step. I used these makeup brushes that have black plastic handles, but if you can get ones where the color of the brush matches the rhinestones you're using, that's even better. I started by sanding each of the brush handles with some sandpaper, which will make the surface textured and help the glue and the rhinestones to adhere better. Once they're all sanded, give them a wipe with some rubbing alcohol to remove the dust and any dirt or oils so that you have a nice clean canvas. My favorite glue for rhinestone projects is called Gem Tack by the brand Beacon, and I transfer it into a precision tip bottle. I use a wax pencil that can be sharpened to pick up and place the rhinestones. I'm using these 3mm purple AB rhinestones. Everything is linked in the description. I started by applying a thin line of Gem Tack just below the metal piece and placed a row of rhinestones all the way around the brush. You want them to be evenly spaced, so if you get to the end and there's not quite enough room for one more stone, just nudge each of the stones to create a little more space between them until you close in that gap. Next, apply another thin line of Gem Tack just below that first row, and this time you want to place each stone to nestle into the cracks between the stones of the previous row. They should fit perfectly all the way around as long as your first row was spaced properly. For row 3, you will do the same thing, placing the stones in the cracks between the stones of row 2 so that they line up parallel to the stones in row 1. This is called the honeycomb method because the stones fit together like a honeycomb. Continue this pattern all the way down the brush handle. Make sure your stones all line up evenly with each other after you do each row so that your spacing doesn't get wonky. Gem Tack is a forgiving glue that dries slowly, so you should have no problem nudging things around and making adjustments as you go. You might have some glue spilling out between your stones. Don't worry, this is normal and it will dry clear and look great when it's done. You don't want a huge mess of glue, but it's better to use too much than too little so that none of your stones fall off. As you can see, once my glue was dried, the stones did not look purple anymore. They look kind of bluey green. And that's because the stones I'm using have a transparent back instead of a silver back. So the black color of the brush handle is actually shining through the stone and completely changing the way it looks. I kind of wish I had painted the brush handle to be purple first before rhinestoning. But it's all good, still super sparkly, just not quite the color I was going for. So just be aware of that if you're using stones with a transparent back. Once I got to the bottom of the brush, I covered the end by doing stones around the outer circle and then one in the middle. And that's it. The honeycomb pattern will look best on a brush handle that is completely straight. I did it on a tapered brush handle as well, and it just makes the spacing kind of gappy in a few places, but it's still doable. You just need to start removing some stones from your rows as it tapers in at the thinner parts. This means they won't be perfectly spaced in the honeycomb pattern and you'll just have to nudge them around a bit to make them fit. Overall, it still looks really nice and sparkly, just not as perfect as the honeycomb method on a straight handle. But if the color of your brush matches your rhinestones, the gaps will be barely noticeable. And that's all there is to it. Once you're done, you want to let the glue dry untouched for at least 24 hours. Then after 7 days, you can wash the stones with a bristled brush and some soap, just like you would with a rhinestone tumbler, to remove any glue or wax residue on the stones and make them super shiny. After that, the glue is super durable, and these are fully functional makeup brushes that you can use and wash just like any other makeup brush. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment letting me know what you would like to see next. See you later!